Mortgage Door was established on 14th of February 1997, so we've now been established for 20 years next year. I mean, basically we're an independent mortgage broker. We're not tied to any particular bank or building society. So what that means really is that we shop around depending on our client's circumstances, depending on their situation. We can advise them as to which mortgage lender is going to offer them the best rate. We use the whole of the market, anybody from the Halifax, Nationwide, Abbey, Woolwich, Barclays, NatWest, and many other lenders that you won't have probably heard of. So what we do is we establish our clients' needs, we establish their priorities, we establish their situation, their current situation, and then we actually advise them as to which mortgage lender is going to offer them the best rate. You can have 3 people come in the office all wanting the same mortgage, but they'll all go out with different lenders because it will depend on their credit history, it will depend on what credit commitments they've got, it will depend on their salary and their income. So all these things are taken into account when we assess which mortgage company is the best one. To get a mortgage when you're self-employed, you generally need at least 2 years accounts. There are a couple of lenders out there that will do it on 1 year's accounts, but they're certainly not the high street lenders. Most high street lenders will want to see at least 2 years accounts. If you're a limited company, then the mortgage companies will work on your salary and your dividends that you pay yourself, and that's how majority of mortgage lenders will work. However, there are some companies out there like Virgin that will actually work on the profit of the business. So if you've got a business that's making a very, very healthy profit, but you only take what you need to live on, Virgin will actually work on the net profit of the business. So this generally means that we can borrow considerably more with Virgin if you've got a business that's making a really good net profit. The other option you've got is if you're a sole trader. Sole traders, again, mortgage companies will work on the net profit of the business. And generally, to prove the income, what they need is one of 2 things. Some lenders will do what is called an accountant certificate. Some, however, will want to see what is called your SA 302s and your tax overviews. We believe in actually getting your mortgage agreed before you find a property. A lot of people seem to find a house and then go and sort the mortgage out. We think you should do things the opposite way. What we generally do is get our clients to come in, we find out their situation, we complete what is called a fact find, and then from that we will do an agreement in principle. That means we go online with a particular lender, we put in your name, your address, your date of birth. It takes literally about 10 minutes to input the information, press the button, and within just a few seconds we'll get a decision back. That decision generally is a pass, a fail, or a refer. If it's a pass, then that's great news. We'll be able to print off a certificate that says your mortgage has been agreed. So when you're looking at properties, then when you're going to make offers on properties, the estate agents will say, have you got your mortgage agreed? And you've got a mortgage certificate that confirms that everything's been agreed. If it comes back as a refer, we normally get a decision within 24 to 48 hours. And if it's a decline, this is just as important to find out at this stage, because if for some reason you haven't passed the credit score, it's normally one of 2 reasons. One is you just haven't passed the credit score. The other one is that you've got some adverse credit shown on your credit file. Now, what we generally do in that situation is get you to get your Experian report so that we can see what's actually on your credit history. That will establish then whether or not there is any late payments or any missed payments and any loans or credit cards that you might have had in the past. When we talk about the past, we mean the last 6 years. Mortgage companies will look back over the last 6 years, and if you have had any missed payments or late payments on any credit cards or loans or mortgages, then this will have an impact on you getting a mortgage. We're not saying you won't get a mortgage, it just means that most of the high street lenders may not lend to you, so we might have to look at a specialist lender, and this generally means that the interest rate is a little bit higher. That doesn't mean to say that you're going to stay with that lender for the rest of your life, because most mortgages we do are 2-year fixed rates. So at the end of that 2 years, it may be a question of staying with that particular lender for 2 years, obviously making sure that your credit history is very good over those 2 years, and then we'd look to remortgage you back to a high street lender. I had somebody in the other day, they were actually on a standard variable rate with their current mortgage lender, and that was 4.99%, and they've been on that for quite some time. When they sat down with me, we demonstrated and showed them, because they had so much equity in the property, we could get them a rate of 1.6%. Their payments were £250 a month cheaper than what they're paying at the moment. We're also independent on insurances. Very important when you take out a mortgage that you look to protect the property and your partner, and if you've got dependents as well. So we are also independent on insurance. That just means we can use any insurance company to give you quotes on things like life insurance, critical illness cover, buildings and contents insurance, because if something did go wrong, there's a good chance that the person that's left behind could end up losing the property. I think the reason to come to us is our customer service. We look after our clients. Customer service to me is the number one priority in business, and we do here go the extra mile. We don't just arrange your mortgage, we will speak to your solicitors, we'll help you with every aspect of the way of purchasing the property.